or something. For the Pride Fest.
Okay, so it is 5:15 on Monday, August 26th. So I will call to order this meeting of the New Ulm Human Rights Commission. The first thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the July 22nd meeting. If everybody wants to take a peek at those and review. Let me know if you have questions or changes.
I'm wondering, you weren't at the last meeting, but we had talked about the speaker, and we were thinking
Yeah,
you
it
maybe
was
had more
canceled.
information.
Yep,
Okay.
she just said she was unable to, with some personal things that came up, she was unable to prepare a presentation at this time. So she said if anything changed, she would reach out.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from July 22nd.
I'd move to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second that.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Next thing on the agenda is the budget report. And we'll discuss this further down on the agenda. We don't need a motion on this at all, but just for reference, with all of our expenses, we have $1,337.51 left in our budget. Or no, $1,068.96, sorry. And we can discuss that when we get down to that agenda item. Does anybody have any questions about this? Okay, then we'll move to the events committee. So the first thing on the events committee piece is the inventory of the Human Rights Commission items. So there's first the list of the things that have been distributed and then the items remaining at City Hall. So it just goes through the Varian Blast Parade, the National Night Out, and the Brown County Fair, and what we gave out at each event, and then what we have remaining.
Is this based on Janelle's organizing and counting everything?
I believe
Because
so,
if
yes.
so, I just want to,
Nice job.
on record, commend Janelle for organizing all that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
No problem. I'm kind of weird like that.
But it's really cool to see how much we gave out at each thing.
Right.
So that's really nice.
And it was easy to, when you worked at the fair booth I assume, did you have a hand in getting all that counted out and ready? Yeah, to just kind of have it in front of you.
Yeah, we didn't give out as many signs at the fair as we did last year.
Most people didn't want to carry them
Yeah, but
when I was in the booth.
I also think because they were the same signs as last year, right? Weren't they? So people
Yeah.
might have had them from last year. I know we had one from last year.
true. I didn't think of
Updating
that.
for next
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've held up really well, so I guess
Mm-hmm.
that's good, but people don't need them this year.
So there's a list of what is remaining, and not just supplies that we hand out, but just supplies in general that are at City Hall. So 78 lip balms, 197 stickers, 30 kindness and social justice stickers, 31 HRC brochures, 83 large bookmarks, 48 business cards. The URL link doesn't work on those, but it takes to the city website. 46 protected class printouts from the Minnesota Department of Human Rights, 3 summary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 2 Eleanor Roosevelt quotes, 1 no discrimination sign, 6 critical race theory, approximately 3 by 3, a statement of the HRC purpose, a statement of the QR survey code, 1 a yard sign, just ask, and then 89 yard signs, and then miscellaneous supplies for setting up the booths. We only have one more event on for the year.
2.
2 more events for the year. And we don't have a ton left in the budget, so I think,
And I think that, I know we're going to talk about it later, but I think some of that budget a lot of it will be eaten up by the
correct. Yep.
education committee contest stuff. So,
So that's just informational. We don't need a motion on that. So the next is the New Ulm Night Out summary event of the event held Thursday, July 25th. Does anybody have a summary of that? I was not there.
Janelle did awesome.
Yeah. Well, Casey and I were there.
Yep.
There was,
Were you?
I think, there was a good crowd overall at the event, and, people would bop by and, kids like stickers and lip balm. Handful of people scan the QR code. I don't, of course, know how many actually took the survey, but yeah, I think it's a good thing to be at.
A lot of people were asking for bags because that's what everyone was going around doing, is like collecting stuff from places. So I don't know if next year we
That might
want
be
to
something to think
have
about.
like a bag that has our
The
logo
drawstring
on
bags
it.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe move away from like the bookmarks and the stickers, at least the bigger stickers. They haven't been as popular of late.
People really liked the other stickers that we got
Yes.
a lot.
The new stickers, the one that said "Be kind," the colorful ones, and then even the social justice ones, I found were a hit, at least at the Brown County Fair, where I sat at the booth.
Yeah, those were popular.
And they were inexpensive.
Really?
Yeah. It was like $5.99 for 100 or something,
Oh, wow. Okay.
which is not bad.
Yeah.
So do we need more stuff for the events this year, or are we thinking we're gonna?
Let's go through them and then we can circle back. So then Brown County Fair, summary of the booth. Does anybody have any comments or summary on that at all? I was only in there for one shift. I had a bunch of other commitments, but when I was in there, it went well. People did like those stickers. I had a lot of people pick those up.
Yeah, I thought the giveaways this year were good. People liked both the stickers and the lip balm. I did have a few people scan the QR code. One person was really interested in it. And I even had someone come up to me with like a civil rights complaint. I wrote it in the notebook that was in there, and I was going to send out an email, and then it just left me. I took a picture of what I wrote, and I will send out an email. I'll be vague because this is public, but she has a child that has special needs who lives in a home, like a group home, and she felt as though the group home was taking advantage of the fact that the child has some intellectual needs and some developmental needs, and was manipulating the child to not want to spend as much time with mom. This was mom talking to me. Mom wants her to be at home more, but mom feels as though the center wants her to be there more because they get paid when she's there. So she thought that maybe they weren't expressing to her all of her rights.
I think when we've had, and Mayor, please feel free to jump in if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when we've had people, because I've been approached a few times with those too, I think that we've understood that our role is we're supposed to help them if they want to file a complaint with the
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 Human
Minnesota HRC, and then if there's something we can do, if there's any way we can assist with like educating and stuff, that's what we've done in the past.
That particular situation, there's actually the ombudsman's office that handles complaints for folks in long-term care facilities. So depending on the licensure of where this person is living, that might be a place too to direct them.
I did encourage her to take the survey, and then, like I said, I wrote down what she said and said that I would pass it on. So I will send an email, and then I guess maybe. So do we forward it to this ombudsman you're talking about?
Do you have her contact information?
Yeah,
We could
No.
give her that information.
Yeah.
And the information for the Minnesota Human Rights, because there is a process to file
Yep, yeah.
a complaint.
I can get you the ombudsman info.
Okay. Anything else on the fair?
Do we know any of the responses? I had
We'll
heard-
review them later.
Okay.
Yep, yeah, it's on
Just
the
'cause,
agenda.
I had heard something about like financial worries and things like that. I don't know if like at these, when we have booths, if we can have county information on sources just there,
That's a good idea.
that like packets they can take on resources.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Uh-huh.
I think any resources connecting human rights with just anything that we have available, just information is helpful, because not only does it give people information and resources they need, but also it kind of highlights what human rights is, kind of all about. It's pretty broad, so.
I
I really like that suggestion, Casey. I recently, for a city council meeting and wanting to know social services provided by the county, went on the website, but also they've got an excellent brochure that lists all their services, contact information, and even subsets of what that service might look like. So it's a great idea to have that partnering with what we're doing out there as booths and contacting people.
Anything else on the fair? Okay, then the next item is the South Central Minnesota Pride Fest Parade, which is Saturday, September 7th. We did already submit our registration. Do we have an update on partnering with Prism and One New Ulm?
I know for One New Ulm, there wasn't a whole lot of, our the last meeting was a busy time and there weren't many people. So I think at this point we have 2 people that are willing to come, but we're going to talk on Monday at our next meeting about it as well. And I think we'll probably be able to generate a few more.
Okay.
So
And then do we have people, I apologize because I was not at the last meeting. Do we have people, do we need to do a sign up or just kind of gather info on who from this group is going to be there?
I think we talked about it last time
Okay.
and knew that there was at least a few people
Okay.
available.
So when it gets
to
a little
move
bit
forward.
closer, Lisa usually sends out the registration information to everybody just so we can see what time we need to be there and line up and all that stuff. And then the other event that we have, and the events committee met on this on August 20th, is the Rural Welcoming Initiative. So the city council got a stipend from the Rural Welcoming Initiative to help put on an event for Welcome Week, which is September 13th through the 21st. So the events committee met and we decided to attempt to put on an event using that stipend. The thought is, and we have a couple of things going on. The thought is to do it on Friday, September 20th from 5 to 7 p.m. And the point of it is just to kind of create a space where people can come. A diverse group of people can kind of just feel welcome, have a place to meet, see connections, kind of see what's available in our community. So our plan is to do it on September 20th, which, like I said, is a Friday from 5 to 7. There's basically 2 locations. The first thought was to have it in the parking lot here by City Hall because that's visible from Broadway and they use it for like vendor fairs and they've used it for farmers markets and stuff. We have to submit a request to the city council to see if we can use that space. Their next meeting is the 3rd. I have submitted the documentation to request to use it. The only concern is that because it's a Friday, it would bump into the weekday. People would still be parking there before 5, so just figuring out how to clear out the space in time to get set up. And then the other spot would be the road next to German Park, and I've already reached out to Park and Rec, and they've blocked that off for us. So we'll have a space. It'll just kind of be, we won't know till the 3rd what space we can use. So the first space is going to be the city council parking lot, and if not, then we're going to go to German Park. We're trying to get food trucks. We've kind of split it up. Some music. We would like to partner with, and Janelle sent it out to the chamber, to partner with other businesses in town.
Nothing.
Okay. And see if they want to send up little booths to kind of just share what their business is about. So just trying to engage as much as possible. What did I miss? I feel like I missed something. I didn't bring my notes.
I believe that you guys reached out for One New Ulm and
yep.
that's on for Monday as well.
Yep, so I reached out to One New Ulm. I also reached out to Amigos de New Ulm. The contact for Amigos de New Ulm, Cecilia, she did get back to me. She did say that they would be interested and that time would work. And at least Amigos de New Ulm could have a booth there. She said some of their members do have food trucks and might be interested. So she asked me if I had a flyer for her to translate. And I said, well, we didn't have a flyer yet, but I would ask about it. I don't know, maybe if putting together a flyer
I'd be able to make one.
is a good idea.
The only thing is we just won't have the location till the 3rd. So that's why.
But
I mean, we
at
could
least
put
give it
location to be
her and
determined.
Get it translated,
Yeah.
and then just throw that on there, like location, on there.
Yeah. And so I did just tell her if you could just translate the email I sent you for now that has the date and time. And then I did tell them the city parking lot. So we can change that if we need to, I guess.
Question, if we have for sure that street, like you're saying the street would be a backup, would it be easier to just go with that so then we have a location? Because then we could publicize a lot better.
We totally could. Like I said, it's on the city council agenda. Their only concern was, will we have enough time to block off the parking lot that day? Because it is a work day.
I just feel like if you're waiting till the 3rd
Yeah.
and then putting up, like, that's not a lot of
Yeah, no, I
turnaround.
totally
It might be
agree.
better to make a decision right now and just say,
Yeah.
let's go with the backup plan, and then we can generate some
Yeah.
posters and stuff.
We had talked about it just because on Broadway, we thought we might get some more traffic. And then I had reached out to someone with, I haven't heard back from him about Bouncy House and the puppet thing too. But that's why we had talked about that. Plus there is a walking tour for like the downtown area. That's $20 a ticket for a New Ulm that day. So just trying to piggyback with that too. But I don't know, like I agree if we have
Yeah.
something, we might as well just full steam ahead.
It's just,
The street in front of German Park where the farmer's market used to be, is that,
Yeah.
okay.
to be
Excuse me.
honest,
I mean, I
don't
know the
German
reason,
Park is.
the reason they moved it away from that location is just low visibility and, I mean, I think it'd be much nicer to have it up here.
Can
I
we
really do.
adjust the times to 6 to
Yeah.
8? And then we have that gap.
We'd still have to wait, though, for approval?
Well,
Is that?
no matter what, we have to wait for
Sure.
approval from the city council. So that's the only thing. We could totally adjust the time.
Even 5:30 to 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can that-
Basically just have to put up the barricades.
The reason why I like this is because even if we don't get flyers or posters or information out to people, they can
They'll see it.
and then
Exactly.
just walk up.
I
and say,
agree.
What's this? You know,
I think
yeah,
people-
that was our
to
thought.
rely on because I don't know
Yeah.
how far we're gonna reach.
We didn't have a lot of time to put
Yeah,
this together by the
runway,
time we
yeah.
got the information and then we were able to put together an events committee. So, you know, it just kind of, it's nobody's fault. It was just kind of like how it worked. So we don't have a lot of time. So that's why we really wanted to try and get it on Broadway just because of the
I
visibility.
think so. And
What I could do is I could
Sense.
adjust my application to city council too and just say we're going to push the time back a little bit and maybe that would help them
Yeah.
kind of.
And I can get a flyer made, so then, right, when we get a go-ahead, if we do,
Yeah.
we can do it.
Yeah.
And then also a peach jar, I'm thinking. That's the thing that the schools are using to send out
That's a good idea.
stuff to people.
And then I also was hoping, and I can reach out to Lisa, I've done this in the past, is if maybe just to get like 5 minutes on KNUJ and just speak about it, and I'm willing to do that again.
No one talking.
Yeah.
All in the city's Facebook page?
So we have kind of all stuff ready to go for advertising. We just need to finalize the
And
date.
the food trucks probably have Facebook pages. They
Right.
might share that too. I mean, I feel like personally, knowing the date and the time is more important than the where because I'll inevitably forget and be like, okay, where was that again? And so like I don't need
Yeah.
as much lead time, you know what I mean? As long as I
On
have
the
the date
spot.
marked off, I'm like, okay, where, you know.
True, true.
I did reach out to, so the food trucks come to the hospital a lot, so I got that list from our hospital coordinator. And I did reach out to all of the non-American selling trucks. I haven't heard back from any specific truck, but that was just on Friday. So I'm gonna give some more time and see. So that,
And
oh,
I-
and then, oh, sorry.
No, I reached out to the ones that were not on that list, and I've only heard back from one, and that was they already had something booked. So we'll just that's the only other thing too.
Is this something that we would have a booth at? And
Yeah, and one
like,
could have
they-
a booth. In
that's kind of the
fact,
vision.
A contact from, so I sent it out to the New Ulm mailing list, and I got one person back so far, but she represents the Women League Women of Voters.
The League of Women
Yeah.
League
Voters.
of Women Voters, thank
Yep.
you. And then she also has connections with Heart of New Ulm, and she thought both of them would be interested, so she's gonna reach out to them, and I invited both of them to have booths. So that's where I've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Great.
And the one thing too, when we're looking at flyers, just because we're trying to throw this together really quickly, is just asking, like if you want a booth, we were just asking if they bring their own table, just because I don't know how else we're going to coordinate getting everything done in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, I
So,
told them they'd have to bring everything they need for this.
yeah, yeah. Please, yeah,
We just have concrete.
yeah.
Another good time to push the, I mean, we'll get to it later, but talking about the community needs survey because
Out again.
I feel like we need to do a better job of promoting that or explaining it or all of that. I know we kind of rolled it out last minute, but
I think that would be a good thing too. Like we have the responses we have and we'll review them, but just to keep it up,
Yes.
especially in the, yeah, I think it will definitely help because if we have it out there and
Yeah.
just promote it a little more.
Is that, can the survey go on like the Facebook page?
We don't have
Can
a
you do that with a-
Facebook page.
Or
so
what,
do
but
they-
the city's
the
Facebook
city,
page.
the city could.
Yeah.
I mean, can you do a QR
Is that something
code?
that has to be approved, or do we just ask Lisa?
You'd have to talk to Lisa. I'm not
Okay.
sure what the.
We can
rules
ask
are?
Lisa and see what the rules are and then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wasn't even
want
sure
more
if a
feedback.
QR code worked.
You could just put a
on-
link.
Like a
They could
link,
just put a
oh,
link.
heat. Since earlier we talked about the idea of having some, the list from Brown County of their services, I will call them tomorrow and see if maybe they want to be there, and if they can't be there, because, it's after their work hours, if I could at least get a supply of their brochure.
That'd be good.
That'd be great.
And if anybody has like thoughts of any business or person or organization they want to include in this, like I said, we're kind of just doing it on the fly. So feel free to
So
reach out.
it's
and-
just kind of open to any organization you feel would help
Yeah.
welcome.
So
yeah,
the
a
statement
welcoming
on,
environment for-
Welcoming Week is through Welcoming Week, organizations and communities bring together neighbors of all backgrounds to build strong connections and affirm the importance of welcoming and inclusive places in achieving collective prosperity. So that's kind of, just
Okay.
anybody who would be interested, kind of just in fostering connections in a welcoming environment would be welcome to participate.
Okay.
So.
I'll pass it on to my work. They might be interested.
So then that would lead us to, do we think we need any additional items for this year? Keeping in mind that we do have to allocate a portion of our budget to the education committee for the poster, essay, and video contest.
It looks like we still have a decent amount of the stickers. All the social justice ones you went through a lot, huh?
I don't know. I think there's enough. And then maybe the signs might go a little bit more when people don't have quite so much stuff to carry.
Otherwise, if it really is only like $5 for 100, that might
Yeah,
be something
you could
that
order
swing
another
if
pack
it's-
of stickers.
If that's,
Yeah,
because
they're
it looks
so-
like you
they're
went
so
through like over
cheap.
100.
They're so
at the
cheap,
thing.
I would get more of those.
Over 100 that night, or that at the fair.
So are we thinking we want to try to get those for the parade next week?
For the Welcoming Week.
For the welcoming week? Are we bringing anything to that parade?
In the past, we brought candy.
Okay.
Yeah, normally somebody will just buy it and then submit for reimbursement. And the last couple of parades, we spent about $100.
But we probably need to be careful with that because I think our budget is
Yeah.
pretty tight at
Yes.
this point.
So we need to think about,
The money for the, because we'll be paying out for,
The prizes.
the
That's
prizes.
what I'm saying. I think that when she did
Figure out
the,
what the total would
yeah,
be
maybe we
after-
should go
if
down to
everybody maxed out.
education, talk about the prize amounts, and then we'll see how much we have left. Anybody have any other questions, comments, concerns, ideas on the events committee? Okay. So education committee report, so the poster, essay, and video contest, so the documents are attached. So the letter to the schools.
the one thing I would say for the letter to the schools is I know that we had talked at our committee meeting about really emphasizing the prize money on here. So like even something with like, we were gonna maybe title it like, wanna win $100, something like that, trying to draw those kids in and give them some motivation to actually do it. So that would be just a suggestion I would have, would be to like put like a headline on there or something that's gonna catch them. But
So we want to get this out in time. We want to get this out probably before the next meeting, I would assume. Is that the thought?
open October 1st to November 1st. So,
Okay.
so we
does-
could talk in September, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But
What I see right away is that we already don't have enough money for this.
Yep. Unless
Yeah,
you-
so we have to look at,
Unless you
At
count
last
the
meeting.
500 for doing the event next month. When do we get that?
oh, that I'm not sure I can check.
Oh, sure, yeah, that right.
I'm not sure how that, do you know, Mayor, how that gets into that stipend?
I don't know, but again, Lisa.
I'll reach out to
I'm just
Lisa.
thinking, when I do reimbursements, it's generally, they hold the money and then you submit your invoices and payment will be made.
Okay.
So
Then that's one thought, for that $500 stipend for that event, we could do those stickers and candy or whatever we want out of
Out of
that.
that.
Because at this
Event
point,
specifically.
at this point, everything we have so far is not anything we, at this point, need to pay for because of the food trucks. Yeah, so we haven't heard back. So that would be something to keep in mind as we're looking at this.
One suggestion I can just see right away is, it looks like we have a first place and then 2 places after every first place. If we just make 1 place after every first place, then we'd save like maybe $200.
That was my thinking also.
idea.
So is there $100? Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 categories, and each one has $100.
So there's 3 categories. There's a poster, an essay, and a video.
Okay.
And then the essay and video are only for, there's age groups.
Okay.
So there's for 5th through 8th and 9th through 12th age group for just those 2. And then the poster one has 2 younger age groups as well.
So how many total prizes are there?
These would all be prizes if you're looking at that prize levels. Those are all
Yeah,
prizes.
yeah,
So
but
there'd
like
be a
in-
first place for each of those categories in each.
Each. Oh,
And then
Yeah.
participation.
I didn't know there was a separate.
Reason for the random, for those of you that weren't at the last meeting, is
There we
we're
go.
really
That's what I
trying to
needed
draw
to
the kids
see.
in. So even if you don't think, hey, I'm a great artist, give the poster a try anyway. Maybe you're the random one that gets drawn. And we really want to emphasize the prizes because we want to generate more involvement.
Could we
Okay,
do
that makes
one
more
first and one random?
Yeah.
Hadn't we discussed last time limiting those random prizes to,
Was it one for the
I want to say it was 2 for, yeah,
the
2
whole poster group?
whole
Yeah.
poster group or
I think
something
that
like
might
that.
have been.
Can do
Because I
that.
thought we'd figured out that it was in the budget, so.
Yeah, I don't think that we meant for 2 random prizes
For each age group, for each.
So there'd be a first place for K third, a first place for 4-6, first place for 7-9, first place for 10-12, and then 2 random $25 ones for the
Amongst
whole
all of
poster.
those. Gotcha.
And then the essay, the 2 first place prizes, and then 2 randoms for the essay. 2 first place prizes for video, and then 2 randoms. So that'd be 6 randoms versus.
Yeah.
There's a lot on here.
That,
I was gonna say, I thought we had been
I
closer
actually
on
had to,
our
go
math.
and look at the video and rewatch this section for the
'Cause
notes. When I was doing the minutes, I was like, what did I write down?
Trying to do math sitting up here, so.
If we did that, then for the poster, it'd be a total of $450 because we'd have $400 prizes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 25. So that's $450.
Writing this down.
And then for the essay, we'd have $250
250.
because we'd have 200s and then 2 randoms. And then for the video, we'd have $250 again, 200s, and then 2 25s. So that's $950.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, significantly less than what we were.
And our budget,
$1,200.
yeah.
That sounds more like what
Yeah,
we were
I
thinking
think
last
that's
time.
what we were thinking.
And then
So then we would
we
still
would have
potentially have
$118 left in the budget.
a little money if we need to get more stuff. If we need to do
Spend it
some
right
candy
down,
and
right?
stuff.
Yeah, there's your
Yeah, so
candy.
you show your.
Which is candy for the Pride
Money's
Fest,
for.
and then we could use that stipend to do some things for the.
Candy and stickers for the other event.
Yeah.
I would love to make a motion to have someone purchase $100 worth of candy for the Pride Fest. Would that be separate from the other one then?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. So that motion passes to approve $100 to spend for candy for Pride Fest. Is there anybody willing to do that? That will for sure be there. Are you okay with that? Okay. I'm 50-50 that I'll be able to make it, so. Okay, and then would we have a motion on the welcoming event? And I would just suggest, we just want to be cautious not to spend all of the stipend because we don't know what else we're going to incur as we kind of go through this again, but
Would we want to do 100 again for candy? And then maybe like a round or 2 of the stickers if they're really only $5 or roughly $5.
It was around
Maybe like,
that. Depend on the type. One was like $6.99, one was like $4.99.
so maybe doing like 2 rounds of them so we have enough if they went that fast. And
and then we could use
100 of
whatever else we
candy.
have left too.
Yeah.
Okay. Would we have a motion on that?
I will make a motion that we spend $100 on candy and buy 2 rounds of the stickers for the Rural Welcoming Initiative.
Second.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. And do we have any motions on the prize amounts?
I motion for the adjusted prize amounts with the fewer of the random prizes.
I'll second that.
All approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, and that motion to adjust the prize amounts passes. Any other comments, questions, thoughts?
I did reach out to the Grand about having them display the winning posters and essay. Well, I don't know if the essays were on display previously, but and they're interested. They just don't know what that would look like exactly, and I didn't provide, all the information, so I can continue to be in contact and see if we can figure out.
I know when they did it the last time, we didn't have a ton of entries, but they put all of them up, not just the
Oh,
winning
they
ones.
did, okay.
But there wasn't a whole ton of them.
Yeah.
And then they did put the essays up as well. They had
Okay.
them because most of them were just like a page.
Okay.
So they had them just up on
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
And
Did
like
say
all
that
the
they have
families
limited
came. It was
staff
really
right
cool.
now, so
So-
the support they can offer is kind of limited, but yeah, we can.
Maybe we could offer to like set it up or something.
Yeah.
It was really cool for the kids.
Sure.
And if we were going to do that, is that something we could add to this letter? Like that entries will be displayed or something?
Yeah.
Just say entries to be displayed at a
Location
deter-
to,
yeah,
to
or
be
location to be
determined. Yeah, 'cause
determined.
we
I
talked
wonder-
about the library as a backup, maybe.
Or I don't know if they do that here. I don't know what that looks like here.
Yeah.
There's not as many people here probably
Right.
that come through here.
So a couple of things on the letter, sorry, kind of skipping back and forth under this item. So the letter to schools, so September, we have to put a date in. The first question is, do we want to reference the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, United States Bill of Rights, or Minnesota Human Rights Act? Keep or remove that is the question.
I think we should remove it. I think the fewer words, the better for people to read through.
Yeah.
And it's just encouraged. It's not saying it's required. So
Okay. Do we have to motion on every piece of this letter?
Could
we probably just
you-
have to motion to approve all the
Okay.
changes, I
All
would
right,
assume.
Perfect. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I'm just thinking, could you tell people not so much that they referenced it, but if they were looking for starting points, that might be a good thing for them to look at?
Sure. Like you could put that maybe down on the bottom or something, just like noting.
Well, all of these, well, not the poster, but the essay and the video, like that is from the Declaration of Human Rights. Like that's what the question is, like
Right.
all these areas. So you could say like more, you could put a note on here, like more information about protected classes
Sure,
found
yes.
in,
Yeah, there you
or
go.
found at the,
So it's not so much as a requirement, but just sort
But
of
this
a
is
helpful
where-
hint.
you
Yeah.
can find more information
Some
about it.
suggested references are this, and then, maybe a link to the Human Rights Commission mission statement and
The
just a couple
Declaration
other
of Human
things for them,
Rights.
like a springboard versus, like you said, recommending or
But they know
encouraging
what
it.
equal opportunity
Yeah,
and
yeah.
participation means. So we could take that bullet point out and just add a note on the bottom.
Yeah, just like suggested references, and we could link it there. So
Okay. Video topic entry should be what to what minutes in length? And then do we want to limit number of students in each video?
I don't know that you need to necessarily limit it. Like if they want to do a whole group, like,
Obviously, they're not all gonna get.
well, I
Yeah,
think
or
they're
they
gonna
could divvy
prize.
it out,
It's
yeah,
a prize
right.
for the
Yeah.
entry.
Yeah.
Well, that could be clarified. So like prizes are $100 for the first place video,
right.
just so it's
Yeah.
pretty clear.
Yeah.
You can't get 8 people in on the video and get $800.
Yes.
I think I like what Casey said, prizes per entry.
Yeah.
yeah.
Clear.
We'll have to adjust that under each.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, I think, we're going to have to, the 25 in each of the 4 categories,
Yeah.
like under the poster, so we'll have to rephrase that a little bit.
Yeah.
What were the minutes last year? How long was the video?
This is a new
Have
thing.
it.
Video.
It's a new,
I think you probably don't want it to be super long.
3 to 5 minutes if you're going to be reviewing.
Yeah,
Age
3 to
of
5.
TikTok where I think you can't
Yeah.
be more than 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't foresee people, but you never know, I guess.
I'd say 10, I mean, 10 would be more than enough, don't you
yeah,
think?
I'm thinking 10 might even be a lot, but, of people, I wouldn't do more
is there a
than 10.
minimum?
We,
Or should we not put a minimum?
we could not, we could just put up to.
Up to 10
Maybe we'll
minutes.
just get a
10
bunch of
minutes.
Up to
TikToks.
10 minutes. Yeah, I think that's good.
That-
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Explain how to submit videos.
Yeah, how do they?
That is a good question. How are we going
I
to
don't know.
That would partially be up to Lisa, but like my thought, like if I was doing this for a school assignment, I would create a folder and a public folder and let people upload into it, is what I would do. But I don't know what that would look like exactly for her.
Okay,
But I could maybe talk to her about that.
okay. Who has the draft of this that can make edits?
I believe Lisa,
Okay. Okay,
but I can, because I was going to do the QR code thing as
okay.
well.
And then the QR code, add info regarding the QR code. What else? Anything? So we would have to approve, motion and approve changes and then reach out to Lisa to make the changes? Is that?
Did we come up with a date?
Yeah, when do we want to send this?
If it's not opening till October 1st, I wouldn't do it too early.
Right.
Because then it's, like I'd almost go just like a week before.
I agree.
Because otherwise it's going to get lost.
Yep.
Yeah, and the fact,
Like-
right when school starts, people
Yeah.
will be
Mm-hmm.
busy.
They have until November 1st, so honestly, like, right
Like the week
before, the
before.
week before, yeah.
So what would be a week before October 1st?
The 24th,
There you go.
23rd? Wanted to just, the Monday
23rd,
before?
24th?
Yeah.
So I would motion to make the changes that we discussed and for September 23rd to be our date. And see what Lisa thinks.
Second.
All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Sign. That motion passes. And then she'll have to make the same changes to the press release. And I would assume the press release, same day. Everything goes out the same day.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
And I see she has in here a video waiver release form. So I wonder if that, as I'm looking at this, if that should also be included in the letter
Yep.
that participants would
Attach.
need to attach the waiver. I'm
Yep, that's a
assuming
good
that's why
call
that's
out.
on here.
Okay. Anything else on the education committee poster STA and video contest?
And your plan was to distribute it to the schools to admin, or kind of what was your thinking there? So we made sure we did a better job of letting teachers and,
We had talked about
Faculty know.
posting and sending out one of those peach
Yep,
jar
peach jar for sure.
flyers, getting it on the Facebook page, possibly posting at the library, and hoping with a QR code on there, it'd be easy to submit to. So they wouldn't necessarily have to drop them off. They could submit them via online.
With the timeline, you're hoping that teachers would want to
Possibly
incorporate it, hopefully.
incorporate
because
it into
it's-
their lessons because it's related to the election.
And
So
how-
they could use that for like a writing prompt for the day or something. And then they'd be able, if they wanted to do that, they could send the sheet home
okay.
with the kids because the teachers obviously wouldn't submit it. The kids would submit it themselves.
And the teachers, how did they find out about those
In the
things?
past, I've asked for it to be displayed and I put it up like in our workroom. So the teachers have that.
Okay.
And
I think
can
we
get it.
talked about trying to make some connections, and even if we're able to go in the schools and talk about it, but
think part
logistically
of
that
that,
can
yeah.
be tricky.
And like, where do you go when you're
Yeah,
coming to, like,
yeah,
an
right.
all school assembly? Are you going to like just one class? Like, I think that was part of the problem with that.
Who is distributing to the schools? Are we breaking that up? Do we need to determine that yet?
That wasn't discussed, just how we were gonna do it was
Okay.
more so. So do we want to break it up
Probably
right
need to
now?
break it. I would, because the next time we meet will be the day we want to distribute it. So I feel like we need to make sure that it gets distributed on that day. I can take NUX.
And I can take public, that's what we've done in the past. Is there anyone that would be able to do the MVL?
MVL or
and-
Riverbend, right?
I
I
can
can do Riverbend.
do MVL.
And I can do St. Paul's as well. It's across the parking lot from us.
Okay.
So,
Perfect. Anything else? Okay. Then we'll move on to other business. So the community needs survey is attached, the responses. We didn't get a ton of responses, but like Sarah said, I think it was new, we were first trying it, so not that we don't want to have done the survey and that's it. We want to keep utilizing it, but these are the responses that we got. And one person had no response to
Right.
any of the questions, so it doesn't really count as a response.
I'd like to comment though, like the rest of these look like they're very well, like
Yes.
they didn't just click something, they actually put
I
thought
thought
into
people
it.
had some good thoughts.
I was reading it and I thought, even though there weren't that many, I think it's pretty representative of how people feel overall,
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
And if we can get more of this,
Yeah.
like this
Right.
can inform what we do moving forward into the next year. Like if we're gonna do speakers, things like that, we can use this
Yeah.
information.
We can definitely talk about this at the rural welcoming event. And
Yes.
I mean, does everybody feel comfortable explaining it? I mean, that might be, do we all feel like okay about it?
None might have been me because I didn't know what it was, and so I clicked on it just to see
Yeah.
what it was and
Gotcha.
went through the questions just to see what the questions were.
Yep.
So that I could explain it to people. So that could have been me.
Yeah.
We should check it out and,
Yeah. And then we can all speak to it because we're using it.
yeah.
Is this something that we're encouraging any person,
Anyone.
including youth, or are we limiting it to just, is this like,
I think if they're old enough to
I
write it
think if-
down,
yeah.
I'd like to hear from them.
Yep. I think anybody who wants to respond.
Or if a kid wants to tell their parents what to put in there.
Yep. Okay. So we'll,
It's a good start.
yep.
Do you have that QR code somewhere?
It's with the other
It's
event.
with
It's like
the
I put it in a little
supplies.
frame and it's
Okay.
in there. So it would go
Okay.
with event supplies wherever.
Yep.
I just didn't know if you had the digital copy
I
of it.
do have the digital copy as well,
just to maybe
yes.
share with us if we wanted to just solicit this feedback from people that we encounter.
Absolutely.
And I wonder if that is a link that can be put on the city.
Yeah. We can ask, I can ask Lisa about that.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing is the art wall. So there was a newspaper article and then an editorial about the art wall. So the art wall park had a lot of hate speech displayed on it again, and some citizens went and covered it up, but just concerns brought forward in the community about the hate speech just continuing to show up on the art wall. And then there was an editorial as well that just spoke to that happened, and then there were citizens who went and worked to cover it up.
I thought they were getting rid of that.
They did get rid of the building, but
the
the wall,
building.
and it's actually a lot of it's in the tunnel. And I'll say,
Tunnel is covered.
but this stuff was covered and things have continued. It hasn't been as much because it's been checked on frequently, but it has continued to be an issue. Slurs, references to race, orientation. I mean, it's
Park and,
it's
yeah.
pretty.
This is Park and Rec own it, or the city of New Ulm owns it? Who owns it?
Well, the tunnel and stuff you're not actually supposed to be
No, it's supposed
painting
to be
in.
just the wall,
the
but
wall,
that's
which the idea of that, in
it's
my
such a
opinion,
cool
yeah,
place,
it is,
too.
is great that, yeah, that you can go make this art. But yeah, if it's hate messages being spread, that's not.
I don't know if there's something that can be done, like,
Camera. I mean, can there be a camera?
but is it illegal to post hate speech in a public space?
It's not a free speech,
I-
right?
That, yeah, so even if you have a camera, I don't know
Fair.
what you're gonna do about it. So,
I believe, but I don't know for sure, but in my conversations with the city management, they want it people to go to that location rather than put graffiti all over the city. And
Yeah.
are very diligent about painting over. If it's reported to them, they want to get it painted over as quickly as possible. And when it was reported to me, I told management, and they were going to take care of it immediately. So I don't know.
I
what
wonder
we
if
say
there's a
immediately.
way that they could possibly check versus the community having, like, there's community members that are signing up for shifts and having to go down there because it's popping up so frequently. And to just count on someone happening to notice it and report it versus people having to check. I don't know if that's something that Park and Rec, or I don't know how that works.
Right, how
but
often they go down there.
I think it's so terrible that you have kids riding through there and they're seeing the N-word on the wall. Or even the swear words, just the curse words.
Yeah,
But,
that's very true.
I
I mean,
mean,
can the city have rules for the graffiti wall? I mean, simple rules like no curse words and no hate speech.
well, because then at that point, then can they possibly follow through with some sort of consequence? I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well,
Maybe we
that's
need
a-
to talk
that's
to
a good
the
question
chief.
to ask the city or the police,
Chief
what
Barker.
are the laws on that? But I feel like, once the building went down, it seems like that's when stuff started to get more full in the tunnel. Because, the area of, stuff you could paint got smaller. Because I used to bike like daily, not for a number of years, and I mean, nothing was in the tunnel for years and years and years. And I recently walked in there and went, oh my gosh, I haven't been in here for a long time. It's like covered. I mean, wall to wall, it's covered, which isn't inherently bad, but
I mean, it's not going to be illegal, so it's not going to be
Right.
a legal conversation, but it can be a cultural conversation.
Right.
Like, we don't tolerate that kind of thing. This is supposed to be family friendly. It's supposed to be fun for kids and youth. This is not a place to spread this message. And so I think there can be rules, whether they're upheld or not,
Enforceable.
are a different story, but we can still say this isn't cool.
Yeah, I would agree. That's, I mean, just setting,
I think because it was in the paper, there was a spike then.
That very well could be.
It's like, oh, we made the paper, let's do some more.
It very well could be.
Kids are weird like that.
And I don't know, and maybe, Mary, I don't know if you can speak to this, but I know our role is to advise and not to do things directly, like to take actions directly. So is there a way that we can advise city council to ask Park and Rec to take some different action, like more checks or something like that? Is that within our privy, or is that?
What I would do is encourage a member here to meet with with our city manager and
Okay.
ask what direction can be taken.
Okay.
And then if it needs to come back as a formal request or recommendation from this body, then you could do that.
Okay.
But I'd
Okay.
like to find out I don't even know. Now you piqued my interest once again. 'cause
Yeah,
know it was
I mean,
brought to my
what
attention.
department does it even fall under? Is it the property, is it city, is it Park and Rec?
I think it might be
I mean,
part
I
of
think it's Park and Rec, but
yeah.
like you said about the tunnel, is the tunnel Park and Rec, or is that a different department?
I'd be willing to meet with.
I would, yeah, we could,
We can
yeah.
go talk to him.
Casey and I
again.
can,
Do we need a motion for us to do that?
I think just by consensus, you could say somebody is going
I
to
can
do
email
that.
Chris and see what works.
You know,
all
it just
three of
seems
us.
so simple, like, can't somebody from the city be driving in their truck with a supply of spray?
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
part of getting your truck
Whoever's
every day.
spraying the
is spray
weeds
the
down
wall.
there can
But,
just also
I
have a-
oversimplify things, so I'm
Yeah.
not getting, I
Fair.
can't say
Yeah.
how this would work, but I think it would behoove you to find out. And then if we need action from this commission, we could do so.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Pretty sure I've seen a garbage out there, so somebody's emptying the garbage.
Yeah.
City workers driving down there, like
Yeah.
doing stuff on the soccer field and stuff. So they're down there doing stuff.
Pick up a can of paint, compliments of the New Ulm Human Rights Commission.
On a budget.
Shoestring now.
Right now, maybe
Hate
next
to
year.
see something. It is such a cool
Yeah.
thing, and it
You
does.
want
I think
to
it
Way
helps
for
graffiti.
kids to be
So you would hate
creative.
for it to
and-
go away.
Yeah.
Just people need to be respectful. And like, these are our, this is what we expect.
And I want to thank the citizens that,
Yes.
went and cleaned it up and
Are continuing to.
are continuing to, yeah.
Okay. Next is legislative update. I do not have anything. Does anybody else have anything they're aware of? Okay. And then city council liaison, which is me. I went through and watched the previous ones. There's nothing related to human rights for the last couple, so nothing to report there. And then current human rights issues. Nothing in the agenda, but is there anything anybody else would like to bring forward?
I would just like to bring up something I thought was very positive. I was at the Convention and Visitors Bureau meeting last week, and they were discussing images to use to encourage New Ulm as a destination. And one thing that I believe they're moving forward with or seriously considering is being more inclusive by using images of not just white people, let's put it that way. And what are we really looking at, and what is missing in what we're promoting? And so I was encouraged when I left that meeting that it looks like it's going to stick and that they are going to be serious about doing that. So just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Heart of New Ulm action team, the Safe Routes to Schools and Active Transportation team is doing a new See Safe campaign. So if you've seen those pictures where kids are on bikes, like see me, I'm on a bike, it's time to redo those. It's been some time. And I know we really want to get a diverse group of people to do the photography or to be in the photography. So I can share that when that comes out, and we definitely want to, because it's just kind of a volunteer basis. So it seems to be people who are connected to Heart of New Ulm. So, anybody that wants to be in a poster for safe pedestrians, safe biking, all of that, we need people.
I did one last year. I'm a terrible actress.
But you don't have to, it's photography. So you just have to look like you're riding your bike happily, I guess. Do you have a bike with a little baby seat on it? You can, there you go. As long as you got helmets. It's safe transportation. Great.
Thanks. Okay. Anything else? So that brings us to the date of our next meeting, which is Monday, September 23rd. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.